want to know something about somebody else? You learn to shut up because they can't wait to tell you what their intent is with you, what their plans are with you, how they plan on treating you. But be patient. Just be quiet and listen.
Did y'all hear my boy Tracy Morgan?
Yeah. You know what? One thing I always learned is that people will tell you what you want to hear. I do not, and I used to do that. I used to sit down, I used to interview people and tell people what I expect, what I like, what I want. And I realized that those people will show you those things just to make you happy. And then after a while, it'll fall off because it was never their intention to do that, or they never really had the capacity to do it, whether it was intentional or unintentional. So what I've learned to do was sit and wait and see how they treat you on their own accord. And it'll show you whether it's for you or not. Like I'm not going to tell you what I expect. If you're not moving, if you're not naturally moving in a way that resonates with me, then it's okay. You're not the person for me. But I'm not going to come with a whole list like, yeah, you got to do this, do that. You got to buy me flowers.
Yes.
Now look, this last relationship, I tried it that way. I ain't say shit. I just said, you know what? I'm gonna chill out and see how he move. How about let's have a conversation.
Yes.
And baby, this man drove 4 hours just to take me out on a date and bring me flowers.
Okay. That's
what's up. And I still ain't told him my expectations, but he's naturally moving in a way that resonates with me.
A man know what they want and know how to get it, go after it without the roadmap they want.
I tell people that all the time. I said, if a man wants you, it's simple. Everything is either black or white to a lot of males. If they want you, they're going to pursue you. And if they don't, they won't. If they really want you, they're going to do anything it takes to pursue you. And if they don't, they're going to play with you. If you allow yourself to be played with.
That's so right, Marcy.
She said everything times 10, according to what he said. Yeah, people listen to, if you shut up and listen to people, he's right. They will tell you everything. But it's more of I can listen to you, but I got to make sure your action make what you say, match what you say when I've listened to you. Again, I agree with what Jazz said about when you tell everybody what you want, that's what they do. What you looking for in a man? I don't want to tell you that because that's what you're going to become. You know, you're going to do whatever it takes to please me. I hate that question. It's like, I've given you a synopsis of who I am. You're visualizing, you're experiencing who I am. You should know what my desires. Communicate on that level. But yeah, if I tell you everything, you're going to observe that and take it to a whole level. I think we taking it away from what he said in the clip though. But yeah, if you listen to what people say and what they do and match it with their actions though, that is going to tell you exactly who they are.
Right. And I know for me at this point too, it's energy, right? Because I've learned that sometimes people can do things, but what's that energy behind it though? And I'm so now I can read energy so good now. It's like I be starting to be kind of feeling bad a little bit sometimes. Like, man, I'm 5 miles ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading your energy. So that's absolutely right. I'm not giving you no roadmap. If you know what you want, you know how to be a man, go after what you need. I don't need to give you no kind of instructions on what I want, what I don't want. You know how to treat a woman and a lady. So I'm with Jazz. I'm with y'all on that. Just show them what you got. Show them what you got, what you're working with.
Be yourself. That's all it really takes. And a lot of people, they don't like to do that because a lot of us, we don't like ourselves. I'm like, walking in the door, I'm a geek. You know what I'm saying? I like to read all day, study stuff. I'm spiritual. You're going to see altars in my, I am who I am. You're gonna know who I am walking in the door. Like, right. Be yourself. I'm past the age where I'm trying to do things to impress people or walk around trying to impress people. I'm just going to be me. And either somebody's going to respect and love and honor you for who you are, they're not.
I learned that through experience because, to be honest, be transparent, I hid my spirituality for a long time. I was in the closet. So I'm like, I'm dating somebody, but they don't, my altar in the room closed up, this. It's like, and after it was over, like I was wrong. I wasn't even authentic. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't being me. So that's absolutely true. Now, baby, I got it out in the open. I'm wide open. I'm a fool with it. You know what I'm saying? I love who I am. My altar is what I do. So I want you to accept me in my inadequacies. Whether you to reject, know me for me, and you can like it or not, and I'ma love it because I know you got me. So
I'm gonna love you and accept you for yours.
And people like that though. I learned that people like that. They do. I met this guy and I was testing this out. I said, let me see. He said something about, I said, yeah, I do astrology and whatever. He said, "Oh yeah, that's cool. Can you give me a read? Can you do this?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll let you." So it's like I say, "That's cool. You accept?" He said, "Yeah, I like that." I said, "Okay." So I'm like, "This might work. Me being me, it'll work out."
Girl, that ain't stopping no show. I mean, I've had some people who are like afraid of my mediumship or my spiritualism, but I attract all type of people, even down to pastors, and they know who I am. They don't care. And what I do is not biblical. But if somebody's drawn to your energy, they're going to be drawn to your energy. It's just best to be yourself. And if they don't rock, they don't. It's all right.
That is good for you, right? That we know in the beginning. That it's not a match. This one here, a trip. Y'all probably saw this one. Let's see.
They want to sit around and talk about these black men ain't nothing. These black men ain't that. But they ain't shit. Because in the last 30 years to 35 years, black men ain't even been in the house to raise them. So how y'all gonna talk about these young black boys ain't nothing when you sorry bitches who won't raise them the last 30 years? So if they ain't shit, you the motherfucker won't raise them where they ain't shit. So how you gonna talk about a man? You hoes the one throwed us out for welfare to get an apartment free or to get benefits. Instead of y'all want to sit at home and listen at the black man work with a black man with partnership. The shit ain't over. Y'all making it over. The black man, we participate in our children, PTA meeting, school. We do still the same shit. But these hoes don't want us in the house. They want to kick us out because they want to go trick with this nigga and that nigga and then put us down talking about we don't love our kids and all that. I love my kid. And one of these hoes say I don't love my kid, go down one of my 3 baby mama and ask me if I'm a deadbeat daddy. Because I'm going to tell you how I feel about you black hoes. I love black women, Jamaican black, Spanish black.
Well, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was a lot. Right? We bitches.
Right.
Right. Look, I speak on this because I'm a single parent. When I had met my ex of 14 years, I had already had 3 kids that were in the end. I've been a single parent. Hell, I'm back a single parent now. So I can speak on this. From being in that position and being around other people, there are some females out there like that. Who, choose not to have the father present. I've seen men out there who really try to be in their children's lives and the female like no for petty reasons or whatever. I've seen that, but that doesn't speak for the majority of us. Unfortunately, what a lot of people aren't understanding about black women is that a lot of the times, we're placed in positions where we're forced to play the hands that, play the cards that we're dealt. You know what I mean? My kid's father, I never kept him away from his children or told him he couldn't see his children. He always had my number, always had my address, always had their school schedules and their sports schedules. He made a choice not to come. I never got in the middle of that. So I think it's an accountability part on both sides. And one ain't worse than the other. And they're very situational, but I feel like people take a few bad apples and they want to blame all black women, or they take a few bad apples and they want to blame all black men. And some black women, they be having some ain't shit ways, and some black men be having some ain't shit ways. So I think it's both. Talking about putting a man out the house for welfare. Well, what was you doing in the house for her to feel like she needed welfare?
There you go.
What was you doing in the house for her to feel like she needed welfare? Because I'm going to tell you right now, my father, he worked 3 jobs and he was in law school before he passed away. My grandfather, he worked 2 or 3 jobs. You know what I mean? So what were you doing to make, because anytime I felt like I had to go work 2 jobs or work extras because the person I was with wasn't doing anything, or they wasn't making ends meet. They wasn't doing stuff. So you sitting here, you're here and you're supposed to be helping me, but lights getting cut off. Kids ain't got no clothes. Ain't no food in the fridge. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that we provide and we have. And I'm not gonna take you with me. You dead weight. So I just feel like every situation is different. And then on the other hand, there's some females. I've got friends like that. Baby daddy don't want to deal with you no more. He don't want to mess with you no more. He got somebody else. Well, you can't see the kids. The kids are pawns. I've seen that too. I've seen men get forced out of homes because they don't want to be in a relationship no more. So the first thing they do is throw the kids in the middle. I've seen that too. So, I mean, it's both ways, but it's not all on women. It really isn't.
She said.
All right, boss.
What she said. I'm serious. At the end of the day, it's accountability. Y'all both are responsible. Both of y'all laid down. Both of y'all created a child. So you can't blame her one way or the other. And I'm with Jazz. It's some females out there that do just want to be out here in the streets and doing whatever they want to do and being on welfare and not trying to do anything else. But at the same time, When that happened, what else are you doing? You can put yourself on child support. You can go and fight for the custody of your own children. So you won't have to have this conversation calling her hoes and bitches and she keeping you away from your kids. It's about accountability. Both of y'all are responsible. So it shouldn't be the back and forth about who did this, who's not doing that. It should be how we working together to make these kids better people, better humans, to go out into society and be the best people that they should be.
Like, I done offered this man custody. I said, you can have custody.
Right,
So, oh, you trying to give away your kids? You a bad mom. They're yours too. Come get them. They're yours too.
I think my feedback on this, because I see a lot of this online. I think as a whole, we putting too much energy into who thought it was that we hear. Mm-hmm. When you really look at it, it ain't neither one of our fault that we hear. This stuff started decades when we was even born. You know what I'm saying? So we got to come together today. We got to come together for the youth, for the children. But like, I saw a clip of the comedian Eddie Griffin. He said almost the same thing this guy right here was saying. Y'all put him out the house to get welfare. Man, you a man though. You gotta stay in the house and get a job. Your check don't help support the house. We ain't have to have welfare if we didn't have our hands tied. So you know, it's like it's both ways. It's both sides. We gotta come together. And I'm a single parent. I've had help with my son, my family his whole life. Without their help, I don't know what I need somebody to help me raise my baby. So it's like, yeah, we all accountable for these kids. We are. And we got to put all this stuff aside because these kids is the future. They got to take care of us tomorrow. So we got to put more into them today and all this bickering and who fought and, and some of our counterparts, their perspective or their energy toward the woman. We got to come together.
I agree. But, in order to come together, you got to take accountability for your actions. And a lot of people, they don't want to do that.
Mm-mm. They want to blame the other side of the person.
Let's face it, looking at yourself hurts. Right. Looking at yourself and your issues and your bull, it hurts. Nobody wants to look at themselves and say, hey, I'm jacked up or I'm messed up or I made some messed up decision. Who wants to do that? I don't.
That's right.
When you experience true healing, you start to see how toxic people really are. You start to see how dysfunctional people really are. And if I'm going to be honest, it saddens you because you start to think to yourself, how long was I in this dysfunction? How many years did I operate in this chaos?
That's kind of the same thing we were talking about, the dysfunctional aspect of relationships and healing and going on the healing journey.
I can definitely relate to that. Because like once your own self-work, once you start to go, I'm with Jazz again, once you do therapy and look at yourself deep and try to heal yourself from the inside out, and you look at the relationships that you have and the interactions that you have with people, and you look back, and I'm like, it's one relationship in particular I'm talking about. I'm like, man, it's been going on for a while. And I really, really didn't, tap into it. And now that I see it, I know what it is. It's hard to separate from it. But in order for me to have a sense of peace, I got to push back from it some. It's like you could see the dysfunction and the toxicity, just like he said, when you take that reflective look after you have done some work for yourself. And I know it's a hard place to be for people that don't want to pursue looking at themselves that deeply and what they putting on the table that's toxic or the dysfunction that they have. But that's basically where it starts. Everything starts with you. You want to be happy. You want to show people or you want to be surrounded by people that are happy. You have to be happy. If you want to create positive experience and positive vibes for other people, you have to start that stuff right there within. You can definitely see what you've been surrounded by when you start to heal yourself on the inside and outside.
I agree with you. I had came to realize that at one point, chaos and toxicity had become a place. It was comfortable because it was all I knew. So at least I thought I thrived in it. That was all I knew. So once I realized that there was a problem, and I began to heal, that's when I was able to look back and realize, how toxic my energy was, because I had become accustomed to being in it and sitting in it. So, the healing journey is very difficult. I had and I'm still healing. You always, as long as you breathe and you heal,
Right.
So I had those nights where, it was painful because I was removed from my comfort zone. It was chaos and toxicity. And you're so used to thriving in it. When you're pulled to a place of healing, it's painful. It's like burning yourself. Have you ever burnt yourself very badly? The healing process, after you burnt yourself, the healing process, that hurt. But once you're healed and you feel much better, you don't want to put your hand back in that fire again. You know what? Smell it and know it's hot.
That's so true, because when I first got on the healing journey, I got a little time under my belt. I was scared with people. I was like, no, okay, wait, no. The spirit was like, you have to test and see what's going on with you. How you healing, how you relating with people. So I would tip in a little bit and tip out, but it's a process. And as long as you are here, it's a layer of healing. You healing. And you still gonna mess up and heal and go back. It's like I said before, it's like some people are easier than others to move on from and heal from. But the more you heal and the more you become one with yourself, you do see the dysfunction and all that. We here to learn. This is school. So, we here to learn. Let's see what else we got.
Stayed away and watch this, left them with their impression until I was ready to speak. Let them believe what they want to believe. At least you have to do this for them. And the truth is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do as an adult.
I heard portions of it.
I heard portions.
But I think the part, was the last line though. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do as an adult.
Yeah.
She's talking about walking away from someone without having to explain yourself.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's what she was saying. Yeah. You just walk away and leave them with their own impression. And then she go back, I guess, whenever she want to.
Whether you leave them an impression or not, they're going to formulate their own opinion. So whether you give somebody an explanation or tell them why you're walking away before you walk away, they're going to create their own narrative anyway.
That's why I understand that, I understand because I used to be that person too. Like when we exit relationships or stuff like that, it's like, oh, I want to know, I need closure. That's always been funny to me because it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters to you because you want to know why, but you're never going to really get the real answer. Nobody's ever really going to tell you the truth about, oh, well, I left you because of this. It's always going to be whatever just like you said, whatever they formulated in their mind for it to be, doesn't mean that that's the actuality. So I've always chosen, in years, most recent years, if relationship ends, be it a friendship, be it whatever, I don't need to come to you and ask you, oh, I need closure on this. I have to create my own closure because you're not going to give me what I need to close that chapter of my life. It's never going to be the actual truth. So I just have to close it and keep it moving. But that's always been funny to me once I realized that nobody's going to actually tell you the actual truth about that. You have very few people that's going to be real and honest with you about the reason why something is ending or why it didn't benefit for them or why it didn't benefit for y'all to be together or have a friendship or relationship or whatever it was. So why are we always constantly begging for that last little piece that's supposed to close the book for you? It doesn't work.
What I experienced a couple times, it was like many years later. Like I'm talking about 10 years later, 11 years later, and you and that person see each other again, and because the emotions not running high, you can talk and they'll tell you what happened. It's like, stop lying. Is that what it really was? You know what I'm saying? So I've experienced that a couple times, but like 10 years. Like one was like 10 and one was like 14. And we discussed it and they told me why it didn't work out and what happened. And it's interesting, but right there when you in it, it don't mean nothing. Nah.
No.
But so even if you're in like an emotional space, whether they gave you closure or not, you're not going to receive it. So it really doesn't make a difference. If they're telling the truth, if you are hurt, if somebody hurt you and they come to you trying to give you closure for the reason that they hurt you, they are not in the energetic space to receive it.
Right.
They really aren't. And that happened to me before. Somebody hurt me badly. They ghosted me. They just disappeared. Whew. You know what I'm saying? And then when they did come back to explain themselves, I was so hurt. I wasn't hearing it.
Mm-hmm.
I felt played. I felt betrayed. But when I healed from it and this person came back again and talked to me about it, I didn't need it.
Right.
The closure or the apology. I had already forgiven that person and released with any pain or hurt that I had.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point. That's probably why these two people, I didn't need it. How many years later, I'm chilling. It's like, yeah, we could discuss it all day long. I can laugh about it now. You know, I want to laugh back then, but you're right. Yeah.
It just opens the door for more questions. Mm-hmm. And then when you leave, you still got questions on why.
Yeah.
They can give you all the answers you want to hear. It's not enough when you hurt.
I don't think people know why when they do. You know, I don't think we really be knowing why at the time. Because it's like, I'll be honest with you, I reflect a lot. And I met this guy I really like, right? And I was acting like a bitch. Oh, I was a bitch. And I'm like, why did I do that? It's like, huh? Yes, I was acting ugly. And I'm like,
it's possible. It's possible.
Why I was acting like that? I didn't know why I was even doing it till like months later. And I reviewed our text messages. I played out. I said, oh yeah, I was acting bad. Man. It happens.
And sometimes we got to be one for somebody to get the picture.
Yeah, that's true. That's
unfortunate, but it is what it is. Sometimes you got to bite a little bit for somebody to get the picture. I said, leave the fuck alone. You know,
in this case, you know what it was? I was new in that self-love energy, thinking I got it going on, and I could, I wasn't used to the energy, so I know how to control that energy, you know what I'm saying? So I was being a bitch. I was like, no, baby, you can't be like that.
The ego had the crown on, huh?
The ego, baby.
The ego crown on.
Yeah, so.
Oh my God.
Yep. Got it real quick, but it was an experience.
We've all had them. Mm-hmm. I will not always a nice person. Yeah, I can still be me from time to time.
We would treat women better if you guys left us when we wasn't treating you good.
Ooh. Hold on. I'm not.
What?
Repeat that. Because I want to take that in.
We would treat y'all better if y'all left when we wasn't treating y'all good. But y'all don't leave when we not treating y'all good. The men who are out here trying to treat y'all good, y'all not paying attention to. The bad boys always win. Nice guys finish last. When I'm the worst of I get all the
because who wants a nice guy?
And it does something to y'all when it feel like he a little rough.
That right there that's something. That's something right there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, where's the lie? Where's the lie?
I'm with you.
But look,
listen, I can't speak for. I don't even want to say it. But yeah, when you super nice, they ignore you. But if you talk, I listen. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've done it too. If I talk crazy smack and just ridiculous to somebody, they be on me. I'm like, I don't even want to keep this up. You know, it's hard. It's hard to do. It's hard when it's not who you are. But if I talk reckless and just be like crazy, they be on me. But if I'm good, you can get dismissed in the worst way. So he ain't lying.
But he also said that if we, the women, let them go when they not treating us good,
right,
then they'll learn how to treat us better.
They will, because if you allow somebody to mistreat you, they feel like it's okay for them to continue that behavior. You nip that stuff in the bud in the beginning, but like, hey, this not where we gonna go. This not what we're gonna do. Then they understand that you set a boundary, and it's a line drawn to saying, you know what? If I do that, she's not gonna accept that. But we do. Like it's almost like with cheating. Somebody cheat on you, and then you be like, oh, I'm gonna forgive him. I'm gonna take him back. And then when they do it again, you take them back. It's a pattern. You've created a pattern now. They think they was like, oh, she ain't gonna do nothing. She just gonna take me back, so it's not gonna be a problem. If he cheat on you and you walk away and be like, I'm done with it, it's a whole totally different response to it. You know, that is the truth. It's rewarding bad behavior. Bottom line, that's the best way to stop.
You just said a whole.
If you keep rewarding bad behavior, they gonna continue to do it. Let me give you this scenario.
You meet Chuck and y'all hanging out, you like him, whatever. It's been a couple of months. You have set up boundaries. He do something. Are you gonna reinforce your boundary, or are you gonna just let him go?
It depends on what it is. this. It's like you can when you say you set up boundaries with first, it's like you set up the borderlines of where you're gonna be or what you're gonna do. What did he do? In that case, I would need to know what did he do, because like you have mistakes and then you got line crossers. You can make a mistake, because something is not clear or avenues are not set in stone or whatever it is. You can make a mistake. That's like we said earlier, we're not perfect people, so you can make mistakes. But if you know that we're in a committed monogamous relationship, you should know you're not supposed to be cheating. That's crossing a boundary. If we have a personal issue on something that I can't think of anything off the top of my head like that one. If you make a mistake, okay, you can get opportunity to repair your mistake. But if you cross some lines that are visible, that's a problem.
Can we normalize finding people who love us enough not to want to disrespect or cross our boundaries?
Right. That's no.
Can we get that? Like, if you know it's a boundary, why you gonna stick your baby toe over the line? You know it's a boundary. Because if I love you and honor you and I don't want to lose you, I'm going to do everything I can to respect whatever boundary you put up.
Right. But I think they test you. They have their different tests that they do.
And it ain't just men, women do it too.
I mean, you're right. We do. We test.
One of them. Yeah. I'm going to test every
boundary. You want?
Look, okay. A few years ago.
That's not funny, Jazz.
A few years ago, I was doing this like dating research, right? And so I dated on dating scene. And what I noticed was you meet guys and make a date, and their first date, they either don't call or don't show up or whatever. And you're like, oh man, I'm sorry. My bad. Let's reset. So you reset. So I learned through the experiment that if their first date, they don't make that first date. So I met this guy. We made a date. And okay, you didn't show up, you didn't call or whatever. And so I waited cool to the next day. I said, I'm gonna give him a whole day. I told him, look, I ain't the person for you. So you, and he was like, man, that ain't right. You ain't give me a chance. I just, look, I have learned through my experience, if you can't make the first date, your probability of doing the next one is low.
So we're talking about a no call, no show, or planning it and then calling you and canceling it?
No planning it. No call, no show, no nothing.
Because as a nurse of 16 years, a no call, no show is terms for dismissal.
Oh, yeah, right. He did get dismissed.
Right.
But he was surprised and shocked.
You can call and reschedule it. But if a person plans a date for you and they can't even show up to the first date, then what makes you think they can show up for you any other time?
They're not. They don't do it.
That's crossing a boundary. Like, don't plan something with me and then cancel it. I mean, then don't show up or not cancel it or reschedule it. No. Right. They're gonna have me
and 9 times
and you ain't answering your phone and you ain't coming. You ain't called me or nothing.
And 9 times out of 10 in this dating society, he didn't play it no way, you planned it.
So what more?
I said 9 times out of 10 in this dating situation, he didn't plan it anyway. You planned it.
I don't know. It's been 2019. So it's about 5 years ago. So I don't know what's going on in this dating scene today. It was But I was like, nah, man, I'm good on big deuces, because it's like, yeah, we do have to walk away when it's not. It be hard though sometimes. But I'm just saying,
you are not about to do the MC Hammer on my boundary lines. I just at the ripe old age at 40, I was the one who picked the bad boy or the bad guy over. That was me, letting them get away whatever they want to. But at 40 and I'm tired and my kids are getting grown, I got grandkids. I like the nice guy.
Right.
It's much more peaceful. I like the nice guy. He ain't gonna cross your boundary no much. He ain't gonna fool with you.
That's what I'm talking about.